Blessings and greetings, greetings and blessed souls. We're alive because we're meriting to stay alive in this most existential of moment, celebrating the second day of the Hasidic holiday, Yutes Kislev. You see in this picture here, 3 memorial candles. One is to commemorate from yesterday until to be Nimshach, to be listed in today, the day of ascension to the next level of life of the successor to the Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid of Mezrich. Also for Ili Nishmas, my dear mother-in-law, Rivka Fortuna, Aliyah Shalom, Bas Daniel, Oliver Shalom, and Abocha Tamim Eliyahu, Ben Menachem Mendel, Shem Yinikom Domav, Ofen Kitzur Shachni Afar. We're going to share a certain section from the Tanya. It's called the Igeret HaKodesh, the Holy Letters. Some say the Holy Epistles. This is the second letter. This is a letter actually that was penned by the Baal Tanya, the Alter Rebbe of Shneur Zalman of Liadi, after he was released from his trial. He was in the process of being sentenced to death for treason by false accusations by those who were jealous of him and wished his downfall, but he emerged victorious, and upon his release from the jail in Petersburg, he was motivated, compelled, because there was a reaction amongst the Hasidim that perhaps in response to the fact that their Rebbe was not only not given the death penalty, but set free, and now could spread Hasidus with greater strength and dignity, that they perhaps might become haughty in this victory. So here's a gentle and yet simultaneously very stern advice given by the Alter Rebbe, that despite the great victory that is still continuing to this day, to be humble with the kindnesses that the Creator had granted him to emerge unscathed from this harrowous experience. Upon his arrival from Petersburg, which at that time was the capital of the Tsarist Russian government, this is 1799, I believe. Here we go. Quoting from the Torah portion in Genesis chapter 32, verse 11, I've become small from all the favors and from all, and the verse went on to say, in all the truth. This means that by every favor, chesed, that Creator bestows upon man, and I inject parenthetically, man or woman or child, that for every favor, chesed, that Creator bestows upon human being is to become very humble. For chesed is the right arm, and his right arm embraces me. And that's quoting from Song of Songs chapter 2, verse 6, which refers to the state of Creator actually bringing human being closer to Creator himself, far more intensely than before. And whoever is close to Creator with ever-exceeding uplifting and elevation must be even more humble to the lowliest plane, as it is written, from afar the Creator had appeared to me. And that's quoting from the book of Jeremiah 31, verse 2. And is known, all that are before him are esteemed as nothing. This is from the Holy Zohar, the book of Shining. Hence, whoever is more before him, meaning Creator, is much more as nothing, naught, and non-existent. And this is the rank of the right side of holiness, of the chesed unto Abraham or Avram, who said, and I am dust and ashes. This humility is also the trait of his grandson Jacob, Yaakov, and therefore he justified himself for his fear of Esau, his twin brother, and did not rely on the promises given to him. And quote, and behold, I am with you. That was the promise that the Creator gave to him, and that can be found in the book of Genesis chapter 28, verse 6. Thus, because Yaakov, regard himself as utterly insignificant because of the multitude of favors, for with my staff, and that's quoting from a verse in Genesis 32, verse 11, and as unfit and unworthy to be saved, and as the saying of our sages of blessed memory instruct us, that maybe sin will cause. For it appeared to Jacob, that he had sinned, and therefore he would lose his merits in his confrontation with his twin brother after 22 years of being separated. Now the Alter Rebbe wants to contrast this, the attribute of Abraham, Avraham, and now it manifested in his grandson, Jacob, Yaakov. In contrast, there's the corresponding opposite for Yishmael, Chesed of Klippa, the kindness of the shell of consciousness, where the more kindness manifested to this consciousness or Klippa of Yishmael, the more he grows in pride, haughtiness, and self-satisfaction. And therefore, the Alter Rebbe went on to say, therefore I come with a general announcement to inform all our followers regarding the multitude of favors, the great things that the Creator has done for us, to hold on to the attributes of Jacob, of Yaakov, the remnant of his people, the remainder of Israel, Bnei Yisrael, who regards himself or herself truly as remnants in excess and is of no use. They are not to become haughty-minded in relation to their brethren, parenthetically speaking, those who had led to this accusation and imprisonment and almost death sentence, heaven forbid, of the Alter Rebbe, and not to speak defiantly to those historical opponents to the Hasidic movement, against them or hiss at them, heaven forbid. A strict warning, hold your peace, no mention is to be made. Rather they are to subdue their spirit and heart before everyone, according to the attribute truth, emes, unto Yaakov, Jacob, with humility and a soft answer that turns away anger and a restrained spirit, and maybe, hopefully, and through all that, the Almighty Creator will put into the heart of their brethren as waters reflect the face. Meaning, this is if we go about and encounter our adversaries in a manner with humility, because our ability to transform our opponents into non-opponents, not to nullify them, but to turn them actually ultimately into friends and admirers of our efforts to spread the inner dimensions of Torah, the outer dimensions of Torah, to promote kindness, to promote brotherly love, sisterly love, human love, to promote a mindset that should spread around the world, just as the rays of the sun spread around the world, that each and every one of us is mandated from the Torah to be a faithful steward to this planet Earth and in fellowship with every human being, regardless of their background, that we shall be successful in a manner of going and realizing this opportunity is actually bringing us closer to the Creator, which should allow us to internalize this type of humility, which is a kindness being anointed upon us. And where does this power come from? The fact that we have a divine image, which helps us get from scrimmage, and hopefully we have a havach, one of gorlach, one destiny, kolan, bodachin, amdaki, in a pleasant and peaceful way. And to remind each and every one around myself, before any of you blessed souls, I've got to be good, you've got to be, we've all got to be good, because the Teva Tov, the Hativ, is the nature of the good to do good, and the Creator, who is the source of our goodness, waits ever so patiently for us to activate this attribute of Yaakov, of Jacob. You don't have to be a nation of Israel to activate this attribute, but just become more mindful of the fact that with every kindness that the Creator bestows upon you, which is each and every breath you take, each and every step you take, the fact that you can eat and drink and talk and walk and interact with fellow human beings or fellowy human beings, this is a kindness. And therefore we should exude out this type of humility with the greatest of joy, to realize this is the way to prepare the ground, to plow the earth for the seeding of the universal redemption, which hopefully will sprout speedily on our days. Now we just conclude with, have a wonderful day, spread the message, and let's see great things happen today in the merit of us emulating the attribute of Yaakov, Jacob, which is the attribute of the Alter Rebbe, that he felt this tremendous gratitude to the Creator, that he was freed from one extreme to be brought to Petersburg under the harrowing episode of nearly being put to death, being set free, and eventually becoming an honored citizen of the Russian Tsarist government.